I'm going to do the formulas and show how we're going to look at profitability, liquidity, dividend policy and industry sector for the first question that you had, which is Murphy Limited, a pharmaceutical supplies company based in Cork. So profitability is, are we making enough profit? Okay, so I'll do a sentence at the end of this, which I will say, and I'm just going to type out the sentence now, and I'll alter it then at the end. So we are making enough profit, okay, in this business. Now, when you say enough profit, well, we put a lot of money into this business. So in this case, there's share capital down here of 111,780. So that means shareholders originally invested that money, plus they allowed the business to retain or keep 42 grand. So there's a total of 153 grand invested in the business. We could have put that money into the bank, but we decided to put it into a business instead. So when we ask when we make enough profit, we're always thinking about compared to the bank rate. So at the moment, if you put money into a bank, you'd probably get somewhere in the region of 2 or 3%. But because we're taking a risk here, we'd really be looking for a figure here, an aiming figure that we're looking for, let's say, a minimum of, let's say, 8%. I need to be making at least 8%. Otherwise, I shouldn't be investing my money in the business. I should take it out and just save it in the bank. So the formula that I'm going to use is net profit, and I'm going to divide that by the capital employed. And I'm going to make that into a percentage, okay? So net profit and divided by capital employed. So I'll just underline that. And then we'll multiply the answer by 100 over 1. Okay. And 100 over 1 is to make it into percentage. So the net profit in this case is way down here. This is actually the misspelling here, so this is a net profit. So we made a net profit of 52,180, so put that in here. I'm going to divide that by capital employed, which is 153,960. Okay, and then we'll multiply the answer by 100 over 1 to make it into a percentage. So I'll do my maths. So it's that divided by that, and then multiply the answer by 100. So it's 33%. I'm just going to put a percent symbol there. Okay. Now, the minimum I was looking for 8%. Okay, we got an answer of 33%. So we're making a lot more profit than we put money in the bank. So I'm just going to add that in here to my sentence I've written already. So are we making enough profit? Yes, we are. So we're making a lot of profit compared to money in the bank. So that sentence is correct. I don't need to alter it and say we're not making enough profit. We are making profit. So liquidity then, moving on. So liquidity is, can we pay our debts? So I'm just going to have a sentence. So we can easily, or maybe we cannot, pay our bills. I'm just going to put in debts. And these are kind of the short-term bills. Now, so the example I would say for this is if you think you're a family and the money that your family has available to cover the normal bills like electricity bills and stuff coming through. If we don't have enough cash, then we have a problem paying the bills, and the bills become something that could make us bankrupt. So, the formula I use for liquidity is current assets as a ratio to current liabilities. So in terms of your family, the current assets is, let's say, the food that they have in the fridge at the moment, the cash that they currently have in the bank account, and your parents, let's say, current account ready to pay the normal bills. Current liabilities are the bills themselves. So if my current assets, if your family, for example, had 500 euro in the bank account and they have a bill of 100 euro for electricity, well, that bill is not a major problem because we have 5 times the amount of money we need to pay the bill. Okay? So when it becomes a burden really is when we only have, let's say, 2 to 1. If we have less than 2 to 1, then we're going to have a problem paying our debts. So let's look and see what we have here. Current assets here, we have 15,360, and it's that ratio to 18,710. So I want to see what answer we get for that. So when we do the maths for that, okay, we'll end up with 15,360 divided by, change that, so 15,360 divided by 18,710, and we'll put that over here. So, and it'll be this number to 1, okay? So that means that we have 0.82 times the amount of cash we need to cover our debts. So in this case, I was looking for a minimum of 2 to 1. I got 0.82, so I got less, okay, than 2 to 1. So I would say we cannot easily pay our bills. Okay, so we have a problem managing our money. Even though we're making profit, we can't easily pay our bills. We have a problem. So dividend policy. So dividends is money given to shareholders. Dividend policy is how much of our profit do we pay out to shareholders. If we're saving lots because we were thinking the future and want to make our business better in the future, well then we'll pay out very little dividends. So that shows good savings. If we're paying out lots of our profit in dividends, that means we're not saving very much. So that means that in the future we won't have enough spare cash to cover ourselves if things aren't as good as we had hoped for. So I'm going to put the sentence down here that we're going to have. So how much of our profit are we paying out to shareholders? And the opposite of that is going to be, well, how much are we saving? Okay? So I think a sensible thing would be to save a certain amount. So I'm not going to say a minimum here, but I would say we should really be saving at least a third of our profit. That means paying out no more than 70%. So the formula for that then is going to be net profit, dividends divided by net profit. And I'm going to make it into a percentage, so I'll multiply by 100 over 1. So in this case, my dividends is 10 grand, and my net profit, actually I'll just put it in this. 10 grand, and my net profit is 52,180, and I'll multiply that by 100 over 1 to turn it into a percentage. Okay, so you get 19.64%. Okay, so that means that we're paying out 19%, so we're saving 80%. Okay, so you would say here for this one, how much profits are paying out? Well, we're paying out a lot of paying out very little profits, so we're saving lots of our profit. Okay, so we are saving over 80% of the profits we make, which is good for the future of the business. Okay, and then the last thing we need to do is we need to talk about the industry. Okay, so is this industry good? Now in this particular company, it's a pharmaceutical company based in Cork, so we might ask ourselves, what's the pharmaceutical industry like? So if I go to, let's say, CSO, so I was on the CSO website with a class earlier on today, so I might look at maybe some of the industries that we have that are doing well. So where will I find this? So latest releases, I'm looking for information, so statistics. So this might maybe give us, so here we got business sectors. Okay, so this tells me about what certain industries are. Well, pharmaceutical, I would say, I would put that in here into science and technology. And maybe you might have a read about what some of these businesses are, okay, and how well they're doing, something like that, okay? Or maybe I might just do a Google search. So pharmaceutical sector, let's say in Ireland. So is it a sector, is it an industry that is going well or going badly? Okay, so what I would say is, based on my research, so the sector or the industry is growing in Ireland. So the future for this business is good. So that's basically how we will go about doing that. And the answer is going to be the numbers you've done along with the analysis, the sentence you have to go with it.